she has to say.
And I'm kind of nervous. It's been a while.
Zoom in here, zoom in.
I am.
Easier to talk into a microphone and be in a room by yourself than it is to talk a bunch of people. But I'm thankful for the opportunity to share. Knowing my purpose, what has that meant to me, and knowing why I was created and who created me brings peace to my life. In my everyday life, I trust the Lord. In ordinary and not so ordinary circumstances, I go to Him. As if you're around me for any length of time, you know that in emergency situations, the first word out of my mouth is, Jesus, help me, Lord. In times of lost keys, in times of lost directions, in times of lost keys, that's the first thing out of my mouth. And my life is full of joy, contentment, and peace. And you think, well, that's really easy and really great to, when your life is like that, then what do I have to worry about? Why shouldn't I be happy? Why shouldn't I be full of peace? Because I have such a great life. But to know me is to better understand my beginnings. I was born the baby of 5. I was the product of a botched vasectomy, gone unchecked. I found that out actually about 08. 07 I found that out. And I often wondered, because my parents divorced at 9, how could 2 people have 5 kids together? Couldn't quite understand that. But obviously, I wasn't a planned one. So only in God's eyes was I planned. So, I think that had to play a role in who I was. There was a lot of loneliness time for me in my life where, because of being a divorced family, kids kind of get under the rug, kind of doing their own thing. I was awfully abused by a member of my family. All the while this is going on, 9 to 12, from 9 to 12, my parents, they, strangely enough, went to the same church growing up. All through my life, they were in the same church. During a divorce, remarrying. So I was able to see them. It was a quite large church, so they were keep separate sides of the church, I guess. But that was my cornerstone, was going to church. I was able to, through the loneliness, through, even in school, I was a wallflower. And I had a lot of suffering during that time in school, loneliness. Kids would pick on me, and it was a rough time for me. All the while this was going on, I went to church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, and Friday night, full-fledged services. So 2 of those services was spent at the altar, where everyone just went to the altar to pray. And that's where I found peace. That's where I found my joy. From suffering, I guess it was just everyday life to me. You don't expect anything different than what you have right now. But there could be something more than that. So I put my trust in the Lord, and I moved on from that. God helped me through those abuses, through the loneliness, the emotional disconnect from my family. Because again, in a divorce, people are the kids don't really get tended to like they should be. And that's what happened to me. A couple scriptures I think are really awesome. Many other plans, this is Proverbs 19:21. Many other plans of man, but it's the purpose of the Lord that will stand. And, you know, there were many men in my life that they had their own plan, but God's purpose in me stood and still does stand. Even in I've actually come through a divorce myself. I'm happily remarried now. God has been awesome, and that's why I can say I have an awesome life now. God is amazing to me because through my really tough marriage earlier, I went through a lot of things, and I'm not going to go into too much detail on that due to the, that's behind me. So thank you, Lord. But knowing the Lord in my life, knowing Him, crying out to Him, and just having the peace of that relationship, that vertical relationship of knowing my purpose and my plan has made me who I am, has kept me a sane person. I mean, if you want to call it sane. But I have joy in my life, and I'm known for my laugh, and I just believe that that's because I do have that relationship with the Lord that has sealed me, and I know that I can reflect God's image, and this is part of my origin, knowing that I can reflect His image to the world while I have this intimate relationship with Him. My destiny, it means all the life's trials, all my trials, which were many, they're going to be summed up at the end of time. That gives me value, and I don't have to say it's all for naught. And my identity is being identified with Christ. I am changed and conformed to the image of Christ. I am a new creation, that my circumstances do not keep me down, but that because I have the Lord in my life, that it moved me forward and kept me going. And I'm thankful for because I haven't made the best choices in everything I've done in my life. I've made some pretty shameful ones. But God, in His